I want to welcome the GMs and the wives, the godly men and the warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women out there. So, this is a Semen Retention Sunday episode, and the topic for today's discussion is going to be on how you're going to be the fire in her blood on semen retention. And this is going to be, there's going to be a multitude of reasons for this, but you're really showing authenticity. You have active listening. You're expressing true confidence in that you actually have a heart. You're having a emotional intelligence that's probably increasing, and you're growing closer to God more and more each day when you're doing semen retention and when you're just committed to purity in general. And one of the reasons why I think so many women are naturally drawn to men on semen retention is because they just have a much more powerful aura. You know, it really is like walking around as if you are a fully loaded gun in some instances. Like you have, and it's not, and I say that metaphorically because I wanted to be careful of any kind of literal interpretations that may be had here, but it really is that you are fully loaded and you're operating on all cylinders. Maybe think about it like this. It's like you have a V8 engine and the other guys around you have a V4 engine acting like they're trying to drive a Porsche or a Ferrari or a Bentley or whatever. Meanwhile, you actually spiritually are that Bentley. You are that McLaren. You are that Ferrari. Whatever your floats your boat, right? The point is that you actually have what it takes spiritually to have that kind of impact on a woman's life because you are the cause of her emotions. And any man that really understands women understands that he has to lead a woman through emotional ups and downs and to really give a full spectrum of emotion, not necessarily to make the woman go down, but to not be able to, or to not be afraid necessarily to say no, or to not be afraid to stand on principles and boundaries and show through your actions that if you don't respect my boundaries, I don't have to respect you. I don't have to pay attention to you. I'm not entitled to any kind of respect otherwise either. And you're sure as hell not entitled to me being your entertainer. And ultimately, women understand and respect this because at least if you are a man that knows what he wants and he goes after it, and if you are trying to talk to a woman that clearly shows you that she is not able to provide what you want from the relationship or what you need from the relationship, then you're going to have to go your own way and she's going to have to go her way. And so what that is where you're not romantically compatible, right? So if you're not romantically compatible, then you know that you don't need to stick around. And for some reason, women are really, really attracted to this. And the women that play games, they will be really pissed off that they cannot manipulate you. But really, ultimately, that's what sexual discipline is about, right? Having sexual discipline means that you don't get manipulated by beauty. Or really anything, as a matter of fact. Like, the only thing that is deeper than sexual discipline is self-discipline and self-mastery. And once you can have sexual discipline within yourself, it is amazing what what can happen following that instance, following these things that are going on in your life. The kinds of people that you attract are going to be more quality. The kinds of emotional, physical, spiritual, and financial things that you are seeking are going to be given unto you. And in the Bible, it does say, ask and you shall receive, right? Well, that's not just God, because those are Jesus's words. That's not just God saying something. He's not just saying, like, yeah, ask and it will be given. He's saying that you have to actually demonstrate and show that this is what you want. And you have to make that clear. This is what you want. And you're going after it. And especially as men, we have to be direct. Women can play a little bit of games here and there. I mean, they might say, I don't want to play games and whatnot. And you can believe them if you'd like. And some women are actually transparent and they're not going to play games. And to a person that's actually for real, this is going to, like, if you meet a real man as a woman, or if you meet a real woman as a man, it's going to be so confusing for somebody that isn't a real man or isn't a real woman to actually meet somebody that is real and authentic and clearly demonstrates that if this is not going to work out the way that I'd like it to, I'm out of here and we're done. And it might suck. It might be a terrible experience for you because it hurts sometimes, but that's part of being open. Is you have to accept the pain and the joy simultaneously in life. Otherwise, you don't get the full spectrum of life. So to completely discount and neglect the possibility of joy is actually also to neglect the possibility of sadness. But if you don't accept sadness as a possibility, then you can't really accept joy as a possibility. Life is a paradoxical event, right? And so if you can actually keep to mercy, justice, and faithfulness and have a joy in not committing destruction to people's spirits, but in actuality uplifting them through a wishing of peace and prosperity and a hope for the future, then that's automatically going to make you more attractive overall. Because you're not, like, what you're doing is you're not compromising your values or your authenticity to just get something out of the fleshly desires that you have. Like, you have these fleshly desires, but it's not going to be something that is going to be overtly taking control over you. You are accepting of these fleshly desires, but you put the spiritual desires first. And this is why semen retention is so important, is because men that actually practice this are able to put their spiritual interests before their fleshly interests. And he who puts his spiritual interests before his fleshly interests will ultimately have peace in his life, because you're aware that you can keep your soul from being troubled, and you can keep your soul from being terrorized if and when you choose to have self-respect, when you choose to have self-accountability, and when you choose to actually be the hunter that goes for what he wants and is able to, if it doesn't work out, go somewhere else. And that's going to be one of the reasons why you're going to just light this spark within this woman. It can be really any woman that you meet. I've had women, all it takes is sometimes one look in my eyes and she can feel that I'm seeing right through her. And for some reason, I mean, I kind of know why, but at the same time, there is this kind of mystique of the feminine that is perpetuating itself all the time because, women have to be that way to some degree. But it's also because they're just very, very emotional creatures. And it's not a bad thing. It's just the way that they are. And so as a man, having respect for the emotionality of a woman without compromising your own standards is going to be what keeps a woman around and wanting to come back for more. And I've had women that have wanted to come back for more in my life, specifically within the last 1.5 to 2 years. And I've had to decline. And it's not because I wanted to, because some of these women were very attractive and I did not want to say no. But I also understand that our values were not aligned, therefore we're not romantically compatible. And when you approach the situation with logic like this and be a professional about it, you're going to get a lot further ahead than you possibly could imagine when you're just bending over frontwards and backwards to do whatever to get this woman's attention or to not get her attention, whatever game you try to play, because believe me, you cannot win at a woman's game as a man. There's just no way. They're too good at their own game. So the best way to win the game is to simply not to play. And I'm not saying that you don't approach or you don't talk to the woman or you don't go out and express your interests. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're clear, direct. Don't waste your time. Don't waste her time. Everybody saves time. Everybody saves energy. And you can move on to better prospects immediately if something doesn't work out. So the best way to win is to play a game of non-playing. And with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.